Welcome to the Shy Tea. My name is Janelle. Today we are recapping season 6, episode 2, and I'm so excited. It was a great episode. Let's dive in. So, the title of this episode alone got me worried. It's called Mo Duda, Mo Problems. We already know Duda is causing a whole bunch of mess with Emmett's life and everyone that comes across his path. But we start off the episode with Victor and Quincy walking into Victor's first day as city council. And they're trying to find out what's his mission, what is going to be his focus while he's in this office seat. Victor and Quincy are going back and forth about what this mission is going to be. And you could just tell that Victor wasn't thinking past this election. He's not sure which direction he wants to go to. And it's also his first day. So he's like, cut me a little slack, back up. I'm going to figure this out, but not right now. Victor walks into his office and he finds out that he has someone waiting there. He didn't know he had any meetings scheduled, and then in walks Jamal. It took me a second to even realize who Jamal was. I forgot all about Jamal. But Jamal is Lene's older brother. If you remember, Lene is living with Kevin's mom and wife because she has no family to live with. So they helped out and adopted her so that she could have some sort of consistency in her life. Jamal has the history of having a lot of violence, and he actually was in jail serving time for murder, but it looks like those charges got overturned. So that's a good sign. It also looks like he turned his life around. It sounds like he found the good word while he was on the inside and sees that it's no longer beneficial for him to use violence as his way of living. He's ready to go on his apology tour. That's really what it sounds like. He wants to um, fix the relationships that were damaged along the way, and the first stop is his sister Lene. Of course, he sees that Victor has some hesitation because Victor did see firsthand what he was capable of doing and how violent he was. But Victor does decide to give it some time, let him think it over, and see what happens from here. There is still some static and tension in the Keisha and Emmett household. Keisha is still very much so upset about Emmett leaving to go see Duda. And Emmett even tries to lie about where he was, but she mentioned that she did see him on Nuck's post. That's the guy's name, Nuck. I couldn't remember his name. I could not remember his name. But she saw Nuck's post and she was like, I saw you. In a relationship, you got to understand that you can't just be walking out anytime a conversation gets hard or you don't want to necessarily talk about it. You still have to find a way to communicate, to either end the conversation right there or find some time later to rehash it. Parking lot it for a little later and rehash, but not just get up and go. And then to be gone for 3 hours at that? No, sir. No. Mm-mm. No. No. I don't know where you are. Don't be doing that. Don't leave me here in the tussy, all because you don't want to talk about what's going on because the topic is getting hard. No, we are grown. Let's talk about it. Emmett explains that he's so used to them having fun all the time. He's not used to this switch up. Like, she's taken on the responsibility of being the woman in the household. She has other hats to wear, and it can't be all fun all the time. But if you're damn sure not contributing, you're not going to get the energy that you need from her anyway. So he's needing to find that balance. So they both are really needing to find a balance, actually. They both need better communication skills at this point, it seems. But she just explains, like, I'm not your amusement park. I am your woman. So you just got to treat me as such. I can't be that fun person every single moment of the day. They kiss and make up and they start talking about moving into a bigger house. She's saying, I'm tired of being cooped up in this space And she also mentions that I don't want to share the space that you used to share with your ex wife. And I agree, because why wasn't this a conversation before? Why am I still here? No, because I'm not sharing. No, no, that took me someplace. I don't even know why. There's never been a scenario for me, but I'd be damned if I'm sharing a home with you that you shared with your ex wife. No, that's not happening. So, yes, we need to get this change right now. I'm surprised that they they even moved in this space. But hey, to each his own. Get you a new place, please. Thank you. Tiff walks into Dante's house hot. She goes to apparently re up. She does supply Dante with her own weed, and she is introduced to Cairo, who is the local weed grower. He wants to, educate her on what he has and wants her to try it, but she's instantly defensive because she sees him as competition. She doesn't want him to knock her out the game, and she wants to keep her customers. They then explain to her that that's not what he's about. He has a very small clientele, and he's really not looking to put her out of business, but he really wants to grow a community to have people that really truly know what they're actually smoking. And I was thoroughly intrigued. I really wanted to try it. She ain't cough. She just laid back, and you could tell she was impressed and intrigued, and her mind was turning. We need more Kairos in this world. Anybody know a Cairo? Let me know. Okay? We need more Kairos. We should know what we're putting in our bodies, what we're smoking. Um, Now these days, you really don't know who's growing it and where it's coming from. So this was a good perspective and a great nugget that y'all should take notes on. They're always dropping gems on what we can improve on. So take note. Y'all, Shad done opened up shop in front of his lady's crib. I mean, I'm here for the hustle, but he opened up shop in front of his lady's crib, um, with his own equipment at that. He has the aspirations to have his own vintage shop, but he quickly learns how much it costs to actually run the business. And he's trying to do the best that he can with the cash flow that he currently has, which is not much. His lady has been supporting him, and she's trying to give him some sort of assistance with the monetary value, but he wants to feel of a man. No man wants to be taking money from his lady because he is struggling to figure out how ends is going to meet. So you could tell, you could see it in her eyes that she doesn't know what to say nor really what to do, but she's trying to find a way to support him. My boy Shy done talked himself out of his first sale. He came over to buy a two-way pager, and he tried to really come off real high with that, and I was like, that's a steep price for something that you can't use. And done talked himself out the sale. I'm liking the hustle. I'm liking where he's thinking. um it's only up from here, but I'm gonna need him to find another setup. I'm gonna need him to find another location. And what's going on with the Rock and why he's not working there? That's what I'm confused about. I thought he was working at the Rock and going from, growing from there, doing more stuff in the community. But clearly, I missed something. Y'all let me know. We see Gemma and Maisha shopping, and they're going over how she needs a new record so that they could really help increase her money, because she is a starving artist looking to increase her income, because right now she's tired of buying that cheap stuff, but she knows her lane and she's trying to stay in it, but she don't want to stay in it much longer. That's the vibes I'm getting. They ran into Big Sasha, who has an upcoming performance, and she's looking to find someone to perform and, get the crowd hype and open. Her previous opener is in jail. So, of course, that person can't make it. Maisha super hype, saying yes, I could do the 15 minutes to warm up the crowd. And Gemma is instantly in manager mode. She knows she has one track, and she's trying to figure out how you're gonna fill one 15-minute show with one song. That's impossible. So she gets it down to where they're only responsible for 10 minutes, but they exchange numbers so they could go over the logistics. And this is a great deal for Maisha. She's really trying to get her name out, and she already has a buzz going around from her previous single. So now this is perfect timing for her. Emmett, Emmett, Emmett. Don't you talk to your father like that. Darnell, I really feel for him. Darnell is speaking to Emmett about his concerns with him rolling with Duda, just trying to make sure that he's being vigilant and know that who he's really working with. Understand that this man kills people for fun. And Emmett had the nerve to call my Bluetooth dad jealous. Now, I know that you got a lot going on, Emmett, but Stevie Wonder could see this as a problem, you working with Emmett, okay? And here you are, got the nerves to call him jealous just because he's really trying to help you. He's really feeling himself at this point. My boy Emmett is so far gone, I don't know who could reel him back in. Darnell is really just trying to explain to him that, yeah, the cars are cool, the house is cool, the business is cool, but what is this costing you? What is the repercussions going to be for all the things that you're obtaining from dealing with Duda? He's just a concerned dad that really is trying to look out for his son, and you could tell he just doesn't know how to navigate this because Emmett is so far deep, not even Darnell can control what's going on. I absolutely love this show because the whole layout and just seeing how they set up the scenes, it's looking real cozy with Tiff and Rob. They're talking, and Tiff is now giving Rob the weed that she got from Cairo so he can try it. And with no surprise, he loves it. He's like, I'm not coughing. The same things that she was saying, he is saying. So that's how you know they on to something. Okay? Again, plug in if you know a Cairo. Just let me know. But Cairo's clearly on to something. Tiff is seeing this as, a route for them to get from under Duda's wings. Even Tiff knows that Duda's no good. But she's like, this could be our exit. We could, set up a meeting with Cairo, see what our options are, and potentially run our own stuff with those thoughts in mind of where Tiffany is hoping that they could take their business. Rob does inform her that he just took a new deal from Duda. So he doesn't know how this is going to impact what they got going on. Rob can tell that Duda's not the person to mess with and he really don't want to shake things up. But he at least says, you know what, I'll listen to what he has to say. I'll come along and then let's see what happens. My boy Kevin, he is on a whole different vibe this season. His place is fully loaded at this point. He got the big screen, he got the couch and the nice setup in between. Sneakers everywhere. At this point, he looked like he's a drug dealer, but he really just gaming. At this point, I'm about to be an EA Sports star. Is that what this is? Like I'll do it. How sign me up because his return is very quick at this point. Is it tournaments that he's in? I really don't know what or how it works in the gaming world, but he went from two bags and a crate to a fully furnished apartment. Kevin definitely has a different type of swag in him. Like, even how he's interacting. In this scene, we see him playing games with Jake, and Kevin is texting Maisha, but he plays around saying he's texting Gemma just to get under Jake's skin. If y'all don't realize, Gemma was dating Kevin and she cheated on Kevin with Jake. So Jake and Gemma are now together. So that's where you see the little puns going back and forth. While Jake and Kevin are playing the video game, Jake asks Kevin if he minds wearing one of his shirts in his next tournament, for publicity. Kevin jokes around saying how much he's going to charge, and Jacob was like, yeah, right. Now, this is when I hit pause because why do we have this idea that if a friend of ours is opening a business, it's instantly half price 99. Why do we instantly go there? Like you're not going to be asking all these brands, "Oh, can I get your discount and stuff like that?" Or you're not going to be expecting that the price is just going to be cheaper just because you know me. No. Let's not why when did this even start? Because that's not cool. You clearly want him to wear your shirt because of the exposure. So if he really wanted to charge you 1,000, why is that a problem? Make it make sense. But I could go on and on. That's what was going on in this scene. But Kevin, being a supportive friend, he says no doubt he's gonna wear it in his next tournament. Emmett and Duda are now looking at a house on the west side with the realtor, and they're looking over the house, trying to see if this is something that they think Keisha would like. Um, Emmett expresses some concerns about being on the west side because Smokies is on the other side of town. But Duda, of course, finds the lovely opportunity to wave the T-bone steak in front of Emmett's face and say, "Well, I guess it's time to open up on the west side." Again, red flag number 5,000 when dealing with Emmett and Duda. Thank God that this realtor had some common sense because Duda was about to have Emmett killed by Keisha if he moved on with this house without her getting a stamp of approval. The realtor really helped ring him back in because Duda really wanted Emmett to secure the deal right now. And he has a woman to speak to. He's in a relationship. They also made an agreement before he even went on about his business today that he will communicate with her first on the big things. So I'm happy that the realtor brought it back in because it was about to go down. But is the realtor next to get killed? That's what I'm wondering. You saw Duda's face when the realtor stepped in to say, "Let's double check with your girl." He may be next. I don't know. Duda don't like when people intervene. Duda don't like nothing. Like he just killed homeboy for chewing gum too loud. Now you intervened when he was talking? Nah. I'm scared for this realtor. I'm really low key scared. But I don't think they're gonna do us like that. I hope not. Jamal meets Vincent at the Rock. It looks like he's looking for work, trying to stay busy, stay out of jail, make positive impacts on his life by getting a said job. So he's about to meet Tracy, and I got a little sparks going off. I don't know if it's just more so Jamal, but Tracy did have a little look to her. But we know that she's all Duda right now. But they do interact very briefly just so that she can know what his intentions is coming to the Rock. He's just trying to stay busy. He doesn't want to cause no trouble. So they're going to touch base again and see what place he's going to fit in and what he's going to do with the Rock. Papa and Bakari are having dinner at Papa's parents' house, and they're having a little discussion at the table about how all money ain't good money. Papa's dad is speaking to Bakari and letting him know that, listen, I've seen you running with Duda and you need to be careful. His dad even had a negative run-in with Duda, um, where he got caught up with money laundering because of that. So he knows that Duda's no good as well, and he's trying to explain to Bakari that, listen, all this fast money doesn't equate to a good outcome. Papa, on the other hand, it seemed like Papa chose violence today. And what I'm getting from Papa so far this season is he's just trying to find his footing in the world. Being a preacher's kid, I'm sure, comes with immense pressure to do the right thing and to order your steps in the correct way. And it seems as if Papa is using the word and interpreting it in certain ways that can come off disrespectful to his parents. Do I feel that he was wrong for what he said? No, but he still was very much so disrespectful to his dad. His dad knows of his transgressions. He knows of where he made his missteps in life and he only looks for forgiveness and hopes that his kids can do the same thing. Um, but I think that's going to be the precedence of Papa this season. Him just trying to find what his outlook on life is going to be, being a preacher's kid and finding his truth. And I'm curious to see how that continues to unfold. Gemma is getting to her bag. She is trying to organize the event for Maisha, making sure that all the snacks and preferences are being fulfilled for her artists. And she's taking this very seriously. If you guys recall, last season, Gemma had a conversation with her dad stating that college wasn't for her, that she no longer had the value or the mindset to want to move forward with college. Um, Although that was not her plan all along as she was growing up, she is changing and she sees a different path for herself. So they did make an agreement that she could take a year off from school, but she has 1 year to make something of herself. So you see her putting that hustle bag on. Fatima and Vincent are having a dinner at home, a nice quiet dinner. It looks so sweet. And they're also discussing Jamal. And you could tell that um, Victor is just trying to get some insight in which direction he should go to. Should he um, help facilitate reuniting Jamal, a previous killer, with his said sister that is trying to just, advance her life? She already has her own routine and he doesn't want to, blow up her world just by reintroducing them at this moment, especially with his past. So they continue talking, and, based off of the conversations that they were having, Vincent made a connection with, the lack of attention that is focused on the mental health with black men. So it looks like this is going to be what his newfound mission is going to be, something that he can also be passionate about because he also too knows, what it takes to um, come out of jail and not have all the means and also not having the support from your community and not having therapists aligned. Our community has been conditioned to not even look at therapy as something good. We've been conditioned to think that therapy is only for crazy people. How many of you ladies been Tracy in this scene? Because Duda was calling Tracy and she ignored it. And she also blocked his number. Now, do I think it's going to remain blocked? No, I do not. I don't have that much hope in her right now, but I do like the energy that she's trying to put out in the universe. I don't think it's going to stay blocked. I think he's going to bring his weasel self back into the mix again, and she's going to look at him with those deer like eyes and be like, "Oh, Duda, I love you." Something like that's gonna happen. But I do hope it does stay blocked because she needs to move on. But I'm liking that she has the great intentions. I gotta say, I love the transition scenes as well. It gives me that nostalgic vibe, especially being a city girl myself. I'm in Charlotte now, but I was born and raised in Queens, New York. So just seeing the trains pass and also the music that they play in this scene, going into Papa, it really hit home. Like it feels so warm and fuzzy inside. So Papa is serving Shad plate of food because one thing Shad gonna do, he gonna be eating at Smokies. Okay, every time I turn around, this man is at Smokies, but I guess that's the only place he can go because he ain't working right now. But anywho, that's neither here nor there because Papa serves him the food, and in comes Bakari, and Bakari is touching base with Shad, trying to see where he's at with his vintage shop that he did tell Bakari about in previous conversations. And Shad is just going over, not having the capital to really get this business up and going. And Bakari now, big boss, trying to get somebody up under his wing, saying, I got work for you. Do not do it, Shad. You need to stay out of jail. Do not do it. But in this scene, you can see that he's tussling. I don't know how much more he can say no. If Bakari asks him a good amount of times, I think one moment he's gonna just give in and say yes eventually. Because he's struggling right now. He doesn't know where he's going next. And if he doesn't get a plan together fast, we gonna see him in a turtleneck very soon too. Because you know how to do the minions be dressing. Bakari is on thin ice as well. He keeps saying this temporary word, him working with Duda being temporary. But the more he works with Duda, the more trouble he's going to get into. He really has this mindset that, he could just easily leave. And that's not how it's going to work out. And Shad is saying that you're playing a dangerous game. You need to get out while you can. Vincent is talking to Nina and Dre about Lene potentially being reunited with Jamal. They all have their reservations and concerns because they don't want anyone coming in and out her life and then just essentially blowing it up. The last time they tried to pair them back together is when they found out about him, being in jail for murder. So they don't want that to happen for her. But they essentially make it Lene's decision because she is about to be an adult. So she decided that she does want to speak to her brother. And they also have the agreement that if he messes us up, that's it. There's no coming back after that. You can't keep coming back in and out this girl's life, and you keep choosing the streets. We see Papa just rushing, trying to close up on his shift with Smokies. And Kenya is asking, what's the hurry? What's going on? He's trying to catch his bus. I remember them days. I remember having to either walk home or catching a bus after work. So I know what that's like, especially when it's freezing outside. But one of the perks of being, I believe she's 19. Yes, she's 19. One of the perks of being 19 is that you have a car. So she does offer him a car and she takes him home. The ride home was very cute. They're listening to Anita Baker, and Papa goes into detail as to why he chose that. So, being a preacher's kid, he couldn't listen to much secular music, but that was the only exception. Anita Baker was the only exception for what they can listen to. In conversation, that's when they learned that Kenya is also a PK. He learns who her father is and the ministry that he has, and that's when they make the connection that Papa's dad is not a fan of her dad's ministry, but that didn't stop him with sneaking to go see her father preach one weekend that his parents were out of town. He did discover that there was some of his ministry that he could relate to. And I think, again, this is another moment to show that throughout the season, Papa is just trying to find his own way according to how he wants to live his life. I'm getting vibes that there's a lot going on with Kenya. She doesn't look happy. She looks like she's up to something. I can't tell if it's mischievous or if she's just genuinely happy to be in Papa's company. I can't tell what vibes I'm getting from her. Reunited and it feels so good. Reunited. That's all I know. But Lene and Jamal are reunited and they're trying to catch up on lost time. Lene quickly learns that Jamal is now praying and that he's trying to do better with his life. And she's like, where did this all come from? And he states that, since he's got locked up, he's found a different way of living his life. They talk about her starting to apply for colleges. She wants to stay local. She doesn't want to leave, but she will be the first person in their family to go to college. So this is a really big deal, but also I'm sure a lot of pressure. So they're catching up. He asks as if she's dating anyone, and she's like, not really, but she is talking to someone. And he continues to act the typical big brother questions that they would ask. He acts as if he's a street dude, just trying to see where she's at and what type of relationship she got herself into. He informs her that, loving that type of dude will only leave her heartbroken. And she knows a piece of that because he left her heartbroken when he went to jail. So she understands where he's coming from, but she doesn't want to get big brother right now. She wants to just live her life. But you know this conversation ain't going to end here. It's not. Like, he's still going to determine who her boyfriend is. I'm sure he's going to be checking for it. Poor Pastor Jackson just trying to mind his business. Then here come the turtleneck crew. Duda and his minions are here to drop off a lovely donation to the church. And Pastor Jackson is not having that. The last time you gave a donation to the church, my name was mixed with money laundering. So I understand why you have your reservations. Now you know not to mess with this man. His name rings bells of just evil. So he gives back the donation to Duda, and I don't like the feeling I get when Pastor Jackson says no. Like, all these things, when people don't do what Duda wants, I just feel like it's a death sentence. So I'm hoping that's not the case, but you can't say no to Duda. So Pastor Jackson throws back the bag. They go about their business. Outside the church, Bakari was waiting, and he got yelled at because he should have really been inside the church. He is Duda's worker, and Bakari didn't go in because he lives with Pastor Jackson. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be a bad guy, you got to be a bad guy everywhere you go. You can't pick and choose when you're going to, be a part of the Duda crew just because you live with the pastor. Pick a side. That's going to get him in trouble as well. Cairo is now meeting with Tiff and Rob. They're talking about what the potential possibilities will be with him teaching them how to grow their own product. With them growing their own product, because they don't have a controlled environment for humidity, temperature, and all these things that make this beautiful little plant, they understand now that they need to get a pretty decent lump sum of money just to put up. I really loved this scene. This scene is a definition of not being a gatekeeper. When we get out the mentality of just because I know how to do something, that I have to either charge somebody to teach them or I have to make them go through loops to teach them. If we all work together, we could get so much further. And this is exactly what Cairo is doing. Cairo is saying, I rather teach you what I know than just take your money and give you little tips here and there. He really wants to teach them. He really wants this to change how our community views um, what weed quality should look like. He wants people to understand there are better ways of going about this. And I truly love how he's giving back in this way. Keisha is now looking at the house. She's trying to make sense of it all. They are on the west side. This is further from what they're used to. She inquires about how the schools are in this area. And she's also just concerned about if they could truly afford this house. This is a big step. And that's when she realized that Duda is going to, help put up some money towards the house, and she truly doesn't like that. But as she gives the house a further look around and thinks it over very briefly, because I would have had to at least sleep on it. But again, to each his own. This ain't the life of Janelle. Um, I would have had to sleep on it, but she quickly comes to the agreement that, okay, if we're going to do this, Duda needs to understand that this is a loan and a loan only, that we will be repaying this back. But I also need my name on the mortgage as well so that she's protected with this house. So Emmett agrees. They both agree on that, and they agree on moving forward with the house. So congratulations, they have a new home, and from what it looks very nice. Looks like they're gonna have all the space that they need and then some. It's showtime, baby. Maisha is now prepping for her show. She's sitting in her green room, just trying to get her mind right. And she is so much in her head right now. The last performance that she had, it was chaos at the end. Her performance did go good, but there was chaos at the end when there was a shooting. So she does have what it looks like to be a little PTSD. She's very concerned, worried about it potentially happen again. And her wonderful manager Gemma steps in to save the day and give her some words of encouragement so that she could feel empowered and crush the stage. Rob and Tiff are returning from their meeting with Cairo, and Tiff is inquiring about the money that they're going to be needing to make this venture even possible. She learns that the house that he's living in, he doesn't own it. He's technically a tenant. His mom owns it. She convinces him to, speak to his mom to get the money so that they could get started on this new product, and also to have the ability to no longer ask his family for money again. And at that moment, he seemed intrigued. Tiff is like, "Do you believe in me? Because if you do, this is gonna work out, and we need to get from up under Duda and run our own stuff. Why would we, take some off the top when we could have it all?" She just wants it all. She wants to be her own boss. She doesn't want to have to answer to anyone. She needs her independence. So she tells him to go get us this money. Maisha comes back from her performance on a high. You could tell it went very well, and she is just gleaming from ear to ear. Kevin is in the dressing room waiting for her, congratulating her on such a dope job that she did. She crushed it, and she's trying to figure out why he's here, and also seeing that he really trying to apply the pressure. So with this pressure being applied, she's like, "What is this? What are we gonna call this?" They don't know at this point. So I think that's what they're trying to establish. Remember, there's a lot of intricate pieces with their dynamic. Her manager is his ex girlfriend, and his boy is her ex boyfriend. So they have to tread lightly because there's going to be some feelings hurt, but they're just trying to determine what this is first before they even mention it to a soul. Gemma comes into the dressing room and gives Maisha her cuts of her performance, but you could tell that she also got a weird vibe between Maisha and Kevin. But she doesn't say anything. They carry on with their conversation. Maisha now notices that, her pay is $200 short. So there is a little conflict there when she is talking to Gemma about her pay being $200 short, as she feels that Gemma did not secure the actual show for her. Gemma's fight was that, yes, I did not secure the show for you, but all the logistics about the time and where you need to be and all the snacks that you want, I did help provide that. So, yes, I do get my percentage. Papa and Kenya are on yet another shift right now, and they're discussing about their previous conversation that they had when she dropped him off. He truly appreciated that, having someone that can actually relate to him being a PK really brings it home for him. No one really understands him when it comes to that element of his life, so it's good having someone he can relate to. But he is applying pressure because he's trying to get them to hang out. It doesn't have to necessarily be a date, he says, but she's just trying to keep it, real surface, especially with him being underage and all. Just when you thought the show couldn't get any better, in comes Lynn Whitfield. She is legendary. I absolutely love her, and she's playing Rob's mom. So automatically, when I see her face pop up in the screen, I know it's about to go down because she has the reputation of not playing with her in any role that she's in. Rob asks for 50,000, and he, make sure she knows that this is a loan. Me and my girl's gonna pay it back as soon as we can. We really need this money. So she's like, I'll give it to you, but I need something else in return. So someone telling you they're gonna give you 50,000 and they're not asking for it to be repaid, you know it's gonna be something big, right? She wants whoever killed her brother. He was more than a brother to her. He was like her dad. And she wants to know what happened to him. And she wants whoever that killed him to be dead. And I said this last episode. I was like, I feel as if Rob is going to determine who killed his uncle. I just didn't know in what capacity. Now it's about to get real. Because now, since now you upped it from 50,000 to 100,000, since she said she was going to give it to him, he increased it, and she was like, well, you're going to have to do more for that. So that means you want him to kill whoever killed your brother. Ooh, it's about to get real juicy. It's about to get real juicy on the Shy. And I cannot wait. That's how we ended the show. This was a good show. It wasn't too much craziness going on, but just enough to get our palates going. I'm just trying to think of my predictions for the rest of the season. Like, there's a lot of moving pieces. First, we got Lynn Whitfield. Like, I'm still baffled with that because I just absolutely love her. So I know it's about to get real. But Rob is going to be asking around, I think, at this point, like, who he gonna talk to. If it was me, I'm automatically going to think that Duda kills my uncle. The reason why I say that is if somebody acquired my uncle's business and they're passing, I'm questioning that. Especially if I didn't know you was going to acquire this, because usually you'll know who the right hand man is. So I think Rob already has the thought that Duda killed him, but now he's going to really be exploring. I also think that there's going to be a breakdown in how Gemma and Maisha communicate because there was a couple of rifts throughout the episode. First, she intervened when um, Maisha was talking to Big Sasha. And then the second instance was when she was going over how much she got paid and she automatically took out her percentage. If they don't put nothing in writing or have a deeper conversation, this could play a big role in the demise of their friendship. I think they playing it cute right now, but there's some things that weren't said in that scene when she was trying to take her cut that I'm sure Maisha was really trying to say. So this is going to be interesting for them too. Keisha and Emmett, they're going to be moving into their new house. So I'm excited to see what that's going to open up, how that's going to come across to us. I'm hoping that a whole bunch of drama is not created off of them getting this house. But I hope they move in safely and can create a lot of new memories in there. I still don't think they're going to last the season, but I guess I'll have a little hope for them. I truly think Tracy is not going to keep Duda's number blocked. And the only reason why I think that is because when she blocked his number, she didn't delete the contact. To me, if you're gonna block the number, you gotta see it all the way through. The contact gotta be gone. It's like they never existed. That's how you gotta go. But that's my opinion. If I'm blocking somebody, the number no longer exists in my phone. So that's why I think she gonna come back. She gonna go back to do the. They're gonna have some sort of conversation. He gonna pop up on her. Something gonna happen, but she gonna be back in contact. I truly believe that Jamal is going to want to find out more about who Lene is dating, especially with the little nuggets that he got when they were discussing who she was dating. He doesn't know who yet, but he does know that he's in the street in some capacity. So I think he's going to come back around just trying to determine who that person is and maybe stop her from dating or trying to convince her not to date him anymore. I don't know. But that's just what I'm getting from them too. Papa and Kenya, it's just something there about Kenya that I'm trying to wrap my mind around. Something just seems off about her. Something is off. Like who sent her? Because if the church is on the other side of the town, what made you work at Smokies out of all places? Every time she's in a scene by herself after Papa leaves, she just looks so mischievous, like she's hiding something. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Am I jumping the gun on her? Like, I want to have hope that she just means well and is going to be the love of Papa's life, but I'm not getting that vibe from her. I'm getting that there's more going on. I don't know. That pretty much sums up my predictions. I can't think of any big predictions that is even worth mentioning, but I would like to hear what you guys think. What do you think is going to be happening for the rest of the season? Comment in the chat. Make sure you tag hashtag shy tea, and we're going to have a discussion about what the season is going to look like for the shy. I hope you guys truly enjoyed this episode. Give us some feedback. Make sure you follow and share this podcast to all the shy fans that you know. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.